not know that nameplate or anything was there until the day we come to help her stepdad clean the place up, clean the property. And we were outside, they were all outside, and I'm inside, just looking around the house. And I'm downstairs in the basement, just looking things out, and I hear it. And that's all I heard. I figured they were up here, done something. And then my next thought was maybe somebody's upstairs. We hadn't cleared the house, it was been vacant forever, so I'll go upstairs, clear it, make sure nobody was in here swap or something. And go back outside with them. I said, why'd you guys come back inside for? We didn't. Yeah, did you come back inside? Her dad leans over to her mom and says, yeah, I told you. Okay, told us what? Now we're curious. And he said, well, it's haunted. And then we started getting that whole story of why he thought it was haunted, and we'll go into all that later, but it ended up being a very interesting story. But he said that the name was outside, it was Mr. Davies, he thinks who owned it, and we tried to research. We scraped the paint off, and there was his name and the nameplate, RBC Davies. So that's why we call it Davies' house. There was 2 wakes in the house. One was Mr. Davies, and then we believe his son, and what was his son's name?
Walter and Orville?
Walter and Orville. They both passed, correct?
Yeah.
The one passed in 1920. There is a 1920 out there on the nameplate. We have no idea why it's 1920. The house was built in 1910.
Walter died in 1918 and Orville died in 1920.
There we go. So we don't know why it says 1920 out there on the plate, because the house was built like 1910. The address has always been 701 Jefferson. Even in his obituary in 1939, it says his address was 701. So we don't know why that's here. So Walter Orville, we know at least 2 wakes were here in the house. And we believe it was here in this area here. So this section here, we didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it until later on. We started setting up in there, and people started seeing shadows. They were swearing people's coming out of that back bedroom, coming up the stairs, a lot of stuff going on in the kitchen. So we just started, and then we found out later why something could be going on here in the kitchen, or in this room. Kitchen's really interesting. K2 hits, some flashlight play, a lot of spirit box session going on in here. You'll get a lot of things that's very relevant, as if you were talking to somebody in the church, like a pastor and stuff. And then we found out Mr. Davies was very prominent in downtown business area. He also was prominent with the church and stuff. So that all kind of fits in to that. The house responds to party talk. This house loves to party. The house, or the owner, her stepdad, early 70s is when the family got it? Early 70s, and he's owned it ever since. And he liked to party back then, bachelor. He wasn't married until 12/12/12. So all the way through, that's what this house has been known for. Possible some outlaw bike clubs of partaking parties in here, or at least are friends of. Coke use, everything from the 70s and 80s. If you can think of what a party house was, it's happened here. There was a confirmed overdose in the house, and Chris actually picked that up, and then it was confirmed. So, anything so far through here? Not Monica. Monica was the other. Debbie.
Debbie was the one that was...
Yeah, Debbie. I don't know why Monica come mine all of a sudden, that was weird. But Debbie, who killed herself here, and they were really close. So we think maybe that's why this room is kind of whatever happens in there, because they were kind of close and stuff, and that was her stepson's room. This room in here, just watch the cord. We call this Rita's room. And we call it Rita's room because we were in here talking live session, just talking about the house. And her sister, Hope, her sister, I'm going to call her sister, said, hey, you're in Rita's room. And if you look at the door, it's got Rita on it. And then we heard the story of Rita. Rita lived here in between her stepdad and somebody else. And husband was real abusive. beat her, we locked her in here, wouldn't let her go out, do anything. In this room, watch out for real tall entities, doppelganger. You get a difference emotions in here. Some is like a child-like. Sometimes it's a little girl, sometimes it's a little boy. Sometimes it's like adolescent sex emotions. A lot of weird emotion goes on in this room. And you're not sure what all of it is. We've seen tall shadows, real little shadows. We've had people touched in here a lot. It's possible that whatever was going on in here back then could have helped manifest something that was a little darker or something that was never human to begin with. None of these dolls here are part of the house. I see Bud on. We just brought them in as trigger objects and things that he doesn't move. The only doll that was part of the house is over there standing next to Will. That was found in the basement. So.
I remember what you just told me.
Do these cameras take pictures?
Do it?
Oh, there's
Do these snap pictures?
Yeah, I've got them set on the DVR.
Okay, so I just heard it snap.
Yeah, it's probably just the light. It switched back and forth from
Night
night
vision.
vision to standard.
What is this was here? Or what was
They just had a kid in here. There was a kid's room, I guess. The guy that had it before I was living here that got evicted and stuff. He trashed his house. Completely trashed it. So
Yeah, it sounds like someone shot BBs over there.
yeah, so that's what that is. If there's anybody here that's sensitive right now, pay attention to your transitions between different rooms and stuff. You can actually feel the transitions.
From this room to there.
like,
See, and I
it
didn't
feels like a
realize-
threshold. Feeling wise.
Well, I feel more emotional in here than I.
Yeah, no, I,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
yes.
yeah, no, I do. I walked in here and I just
Very
like, felt like a
heavy.
heavy feeling in my chest.
Yeah, this house,
Harder to breathe.
this house will,
What?
Harder to breathe.
Yeah.
if you want to, but this
I
house
guess you could say that's like
will
heavy.
cause doppelgangers,
Just-
scratches, people that you think is part of your group, walk in behind you and like, yeah, hey, what? And there's
What just
somebody
happened the
there.
other day?
I'm just trying to
Right,
figure it out. Get it, take a faster photo.
in this section here, it's
Yeah, I
challenging.
Good luck.
So all of this, pay real close attention.
Good luck, because we can't get his to do faster photos either.
Like, I figured it out on my camera, but this is his, and I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Always use your phone, just turn on airplane mode, they said.
I always do.
Yours is a Nokia, isn't bad though.
I've
Yeah.
been investigating
Yep.
for over 20 years.
Maybe you know what that is.
Yeah?
Holy
It is cold.
It could have been Austin.
There is a whole hidden room back there.
Holy shit, it's cold.
So that it goes from this wall all the way to the doorway, all the way down the floor. We probably was the old coal room or something. There's only an access panel to the outside. This is where she hung herself. Was off of these pipes. Back then, these pipes were metal. And they come across straight, and this is what happened. Over here. So. We think it was an accidental suicide. She wasn't real serious. He was going to break up with her. So she was just going to leave this note, hey, poor me, I can't live without you, whatever. And he come downstairs. We
Oh, there it goes.
are guessing. She heard the door open, think, okay, now's my chance. Only he went back upstairs to check the rest of the house, see where other things were at. And she either slipped, fell, or purposely kicked the chair out from underneath her. And she was a small woman, so, you know, even that, even
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
might
no,
have
you
got-
mean, I can-
yeah.
Have you ever gotten faces in the window or anything right here?
Not here. We have captured stuff in SLS. This is where I was at when I heard that real loud
Yeah.
thump. Was actually right here.
From upstairs. That would make sense.
The other room that I was talking about up there is where they laid her body when she cut down a little bit. So that was her final resting place in the house.
The Rita's room.
No, the middle living room, just
Oh,
outside
okay,
the
okay.
kitchen. And that would make sense on some of those.
She's
movements
she hung
and
herself
stuff.
there.
Let's go to south.
Very excited.
I am.
I decided to come down.
Good.
You already won?
Just grab my label.
She done got her mess cleaned up, but This room here, I'm actually going to turn this other light off, and I'll show you how dark it gets down here. But this room right here, we have seen what I would call it wasn't white, but it was black. Solid black, little tiny orb. Come from here, went around and then it was gone. We captured that. There's reports of a portal here in the house. Some people think the portal's in this area. I think if there is a portal, it's in there. So, but this is how dark. And you will actually feel and see people walking up on you. We're walking here in this room. And it is,
I'm so curious.
we call this the band room just because we've had a lot of interaction. If you start talking about band music, things like that, a lot of talk in this room. If you start talking about drugs, partying, free love, you start getting responses. This is where everybody partied at back in the day. It was down here in the basement and stuff. So just dowsing rods, K2, spirit boxes, any type of equipment imaginable, or just your own senses. This room really seems to start having, we've heard voices down here. We've actually heard laughing down here.
Right in my ear.
We've had people physically become sick and drained and have to go back upstairs. And I'll shut the furnace off when we get going too, as we need to. This room, we've had shadows, but we don't understand the shadows. Kind of peering out, looking, big, tall shadows. I've never felt, never even investigated this room. So, we'll go back upstairs. And it's odor. Sometimes you'll get like a perfume smell.
They just said something about a whiskey smell.
So, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a perfume smell.
We got that real bad in Rita's room the other night we were here.
Okay.
Real bad.
So we'll go upstairs to the other part of the house.
There's like a lavender.
Okay. Yes. Right. And then we're going to go this way. The cords are going to be here now.
Where you were down there. You haven't drank anything down there. We're thinking about doing one of these. Austin. I will be here.
Going on upstairs here. We have no idea what this messed up redneck was trying to do. I think that's the only thing we can figure out is he's deer. I don't know.
He is human.
Supposedly, the guy that was living here was a well-known carpenter and stuff and doing stuff. But that's got the better part of him, and we just have no clue. So this room is what we call Monica's lair. Monica was practicing magic, for lack of a better term. She liked to do a lot of different card readings, crystal ball readings, things like that. They say that she'd opened something, people think she'd opened up a portal or something, and never closed it. Well, maybe, maybe not. Because if you're practicing magic, you know what you're doing, and you're not just gonna open up something and on purpose forget to close it. So, we've had people think that there's something up here that she brought in. We don't know if it was, there was been, succubus has actually been mentioned, routine Dr. Succubus, because it seemed to like going after women. I think it was, the women could be just another entity, something else going on. There was a report of a fetch has been made here. A fetch is something that a witch will create, and it helps protect her area, her surrounding, kind of like a doppelganger, take a form of anything or anyone. So, a lot of different ideas on that one. And Chris, you said you picked up something also that you don't think was human or walks. Also. So all that, and that's why we call this Monica's room. You can do Ouija board, whatever you want to do up here. If it was witch's lair, then use whatever.
Is there a mirror in that room?
Do what?
Is there a mirror back there?
There's a mirror in the room.
Okay, I was...
Yeah. Wait, no, there's nothing back here.
Don't fuck with me now. I haven't started yet.
I don't know. This room has been newly named the Boom Boom Room. And you come in this direction, you'll see why they gave it the name Boom Boom Room. Back in the 70s and 80s, he was a bachelor and he liked to party. So you put a hot tub in your party room.
Yes.
So it was another, she was here investigating with her husband and stuff, and she's like, the Boom Boom Room. Okay, it's the Boom Boom Room. Here, we got mirror play. We've had people that come from a Facebook page. From my Facebook page, that the kids that were living here at the time, the girl was like, I hated that room, I hated it. I'd always seen things looking at me in mirrors. I don't know why. There's always stuff coming out of the mirrors. So we put a mirror up here just to play around with. And then we got the bright idea, let's put two mirrors together. Really have some fun with it.
Yeah, she did that in the bathroom.
I didn't mean to. I really didn't.
Activity in the house.
So we get mirror play up here.
Is it?
We've had entities peeking around the corner, standing where he's standing. So, but nothing's ever happened up here. Just feelings, anxiousness, sometimes sad, but mainly just things watching you. People feel different. They get heavy-chested or they get sick.
That's exactly how I feel.
So, any questions about anything at all?
She looks nervous.
Me? I'm
This is
just
her
chilling.
first actual
Yeah.
investigation.
Oh, you're gonna have fun
I'm so
tonight.
excited. I'm so excited.
So,
She's a scaredy cat too.
Oh, yeah, no, I am. Fun
So-
excited. She'll well.
everybody should stay together. Don't wander off by yourself.
My bad.
I'm just saying, it has increased. We've had multiple people now start seeing doppelgangers, get in touch.
So what's a
Oh,
doppelganger?
that makes sense.
It's a spirit
I
that
thought
looks
she
just
was
like
in the
you.
basement still. With
It's a
these
spirit that
two.
takes on the
Really?
shape of you.
Yes. I was like
Yeah,
arguing
she
with
made
her
me
about
check
it. I
again.
was like, look, she's down
She
there.
won't
No, she
believe
was
us.
upstairs apparently.
Okay?
That makes sense now.
And that's exactly happened.
So that's a doppelganger.
Yeah, somebody,
Look just like take
Yeah.
off your form.
Yes.
Yeah.
And be.
Mhm. which could be the fetch.
Oh my god.
Right.
They,
You were
spirits
standing
love
next to me, and I
they
swear to
really
God,
do.
there
I
was
don't.
Okay.
I thought it was her standing down there next to you.
So,
They
arguments,
like me in this house, just to let you know.
they will try to create arguments and separation. We've had couples leave here, and husbands and wife that's argued for a week after they've been here in this house, after a really good, intense investigation. We've had people claim possession. All of a sudden, we're starting to get possession claims.
That was me. I was possessed.
So we just a lot of things are starting to happen that's never happened before.
Well, yeah, the more we investigate, the more...
Before, it was things would be missing. We've had an investigator, she had her pop bottle lid, it was a water bottle, actually pop off her water bottle. Hit her in the face with so much force it actually shot clear out into the other room. Water doesn't have that much force.
Right.
I broke my tooth here in this house in the basement. No reason for it to break. And this is there's been a lot of little things happen, and it has increased.
Or been burned.
So,
It's gonna be a good night.
It's fun in this
I
house.
think so.
I'm excited.
Energy's great tonight.
Uh-huh.
Bring my necrophonic out.
Use whatever you want to. We have some of our stuff. When we watching the DVR
Dowsing?
systems.
Dowsing?
Yep, we got
I'm taking
thousands.
a, what's that?
Sense deprivation, the gunspot experiment, I do it.
I was just
I want to
mentioning
do that in
earlier.
this house
I've
so
got,
We
bad.
have a box
do it, I
downstairs.
forgot it.
We have a box.
Like, I've got goggles I've made that are like the most comfortable ever.
He came out in the living room one day wearing them, and I was like, what the hell?
They look like
I just want to wear like
They look like spider
the
webs.
headphones and
Yeah.
just listen, and everybody else asks questions.
I've
And just,
done that.
But it's also really
That
dangerous.
room in there is really good for meditation and getting centered,
Mhm.
but you also feel their energy field.
It works.
So,
So do you
fun.
think, we'll split up a little bit? Because there's a
Oh, yeah.
lot of people.
Yeah.
No, you can split up. I just don't want like one person going off to the basement by
You
themselves.
call
With you
It's
guys.
good to know where everybody else is.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's like
And
the
with this
cameras.
big a group, we should, like somebody can work downstairs, somebody can work up here,
And then switch.
and then switch,
Right.
exactly, or in the basement and switch up here. The house will echo you if you really hear a lot of noises and stuff, so keep that in mind if you're doing EVP sessions or something like that.
That's real quiet.
Not too quiet. If you whisper, then we don't know if it's you or if it's...
Exactly.
Right.
There's two people in this house that can really get energies moving and working, so, that I know of personally.
What? I've only been here once, guys.
So if we allow him to just have free reign, things are gonna get real stupid because he can't control matter.
Like last time.
He just can't.
I know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So, right downstairs, he cannot control, yet he hasn't learned how to control anything. And for him, it's just fun and you can do whatever.
I just put all my energy in.
Some of us can control it, we know you should control it, bits and pieces, he doesn't. He'll straight dream walk out, he'll project, and he'll bring friends home with him, and he'll think it's cool as hell because they're his friends. Only they ain't friends, but to him they are. Yes.
That's interesting. I've never even heard of it before. That's-
Let's do the same.
you know, that-
Yeah, he's.
Oh, that's kind
All right.
Make fun of me for doing the floss. No.
Floss is just... What's that?
Another bathroom.
Yeah, talking about bathroom. Happens every time. Every time.
We still have one today.
No,
I like
still gotta go outside.
Oh, wow.
I honestly...
We do have two years here if anybody wants to.
No,
I don't fuck with these boys.
I agree.
People don't know how to do it correctly. They create things they shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
A lot of whispering in this house.
No, he said that it was like...
Yeah, you will hear,
talking upstairs.
yeah, but you will hear voices, you will hear things that nobody can talk.
Okay, I'm grabbing my jacket.
Yeah.
You guys may see something in here, peek out and look out at you too.
I was standing over here, and it felt like somebody stabbed me in the back.
I was in the other room and felt like...
Hey, you dropped your balls.
Alright, what I'm doing tonight, guys, is Melissa's setting up these balls they got in balloons.
there any- Is there anybody here with us tonight? What, what's your name? Is that Billy? How old are you? Did you like it here when they was playing music down here? Yeah? What kind of music were they playing? Kind of a cool place to hang out at, isn't it? You know it. Yeah, I agree. Okay. I've got a little ball down here on the floor. That's right. If you touch it, it'll light up. Could you come touch it for me? It's kind of like a disco ball. It's sitting right here next to this balloon. See? Can you see it? Can you make it go off like that? Can you make that ball go off like that? All it takes is a little touch. Well, I figured you like to party. You might want to get a little disco light going down here. Can you come touch it for me? I'll tell you what, if you make that ball go off, I'll leave.
Are you taking photos?
Yeah. Yes. If If you make that ball light up, I will leave this area. No, I'm not gonna just go. Like I said. See, all you gotta do is touch it. And here, I thought you guys liked to party down here. Smoke a nice fat blunt, your joints, do some drinking, get some lights flashing, music playing. So I don't have nobody here that wants to play?
No.
No, I had that in my camera sight.
Well, I'm trying to get him to play with it.
Like I wasn't? So, all you gotta do is touch it.
We're not here to harm you. Leave. Here we go with the leave again, babe.
Yeah, I know. I told you, if you light this ball up, I will leave this area. I promise you. All you have to do is light it up one time and I will leave this area. Okay. All you did is prove to me that you're too weak to do it. I understand. You're too weak. They told me to shut the F up. Here, I thought this was supposed to be a party house.
This is the ghost tube. Did you just hear a phone?
Yeah. Dial up?
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Sounded like a busy signal.
Yeah. How old? Demon?
Okay. You
Where
wanna
is
show
the
up?
demon? They say they think there's a portal in this area here. Is there?
Where's it at? There it is.
Janet, friend.
So, all you gotta do is touch it.
We're not here to harm you. Leave. Here we go with the leave again, babe.
I told you, if you light this ball up, I will leave this area. I promise you. Yeah, all you have to do is light it up one time and I will leave this area. Here, I thought this was supposed to be a party house.
This is the ghost tape app.
Friend.
Did you just hear a phone? Yeah. Yeah.
Hold.
How old?
Demon.
Demon. Where is the demon? They say they think there's a portal in this area here. Is there?
Janet. Friend.
Janet, friend. Somewhere.
Where am I?
Between this room and this other room, I get a really weird feeling in my stomach. Almost like it's tied in knots or upset.
Janet.
Janet, there's... I wonder if Janet's the name of the girl that...
Committed suicide?
Somebody was just standing right next to you, I swear to God. He says they see shadow figures coming out of that room. Janet, are you the one that committed suicide?
Why are you here?
We want to learn about this house. Will you tell us what happened? Why you committed suicide? Up. Should I look up?
Joshua.
Joshua. Who's Joshua?
Devil.
put something over here. Are you by the window down here?
Okay. I had to change my battery in here.